Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. My fellow Americans, would you be okay if tomorrow Kim Jong-un, the woodchuck, the leader of North Korea, which are designated as bad dudes, or if the president of Iran, again designated by the Americans as being a bad dude, or let's say Putin, another bad dude, or Mr. Maduro, I can go on. Let's say one of these guys they pledge to invest in the United States of America $600 billion. And then our president says, because of that, I will go in my first foreign visit abroad, not in England, in Great Britain. I'm going to go to North Korea, or I'm going to go to Iran, or I'm going to go to Russia, or I'm going to go to Venezuela. My point is this. We designate these guys as bad, but then we shake hands when they invest. It's about the Saudi Crown Prince, Mr. MBS, Mohammed bin Salman. I have no beef with this guy. We don't sell beef, we don't eat beef with this guy. Nevertheless, he pledges in a phone conversation with Trump that he, Saudi Arabia, will invest $600 billion in the United States. And Trump said, because Trump said a day or two before, where are you going to go? Are you going to go the first visit in Great Britain, as the President of the United States of America used to do, except Trump, who in his first term again visited Saudi Arabia for the same reason first. So it's a bribe? You take money from these guys? Remember, MBS was accused of orchestrating and ordering the killing of Khashoggi. Is that his name, Khashoggi? Remember that journalist? Remember that? He's considered, by the way, is Saudi Arabia a democracy? So not only that Mr. MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, is considered another good guy, it's not a democracy. Oh my God, what is going on here? But because they're going to give us money, invest in our strong economy, Trump is going to go over there and have a little party and a little bit of sword dance with everybody over there. You know, the sword dance, go and check him out. Now, I personally have no problem with what's going on here. My problem is, make up your fucking mind. Are those people bad or are people good? And if they're bad, you take their money? If you say yes, okay then. Why do you call them bad anymore? All right, let me show you. Associated Press. Saudi Crown Prince said kingdom intends to invest $600 billion in US during call with Trump. There he is. I have no problem with Salman. He's not my boy. I'm not his boy. You know, that's between the guys over here. Next one. Bloomberg. Saudi Crown Prince makes $600 billion investment and trade pledge to Trump. And that's how he smiles. Come to Papa, baby doll. All right. So what do you think? So next time when you hear President Trump talking about Maduro as being a bad player and bad dude, or the woodchuck in North Korea, ignore it. Ignore it. Now, I'm not trying to put, actually I can put Maduro and, maybe not. At least Maduro was elected. How was elected? Was elected. It is a democracy by definition, but the level of democracy is, how it is, like our democracy, compared with others. So from that angle, I look at Maduro and or Venezuela and I look at Saudi Arabia. This is not to insult Saudi Arabia. This is just to show you the hypocrisy of the Americans, the guys in charge of us. If you do business with us, if tomorrow Maduro decides to spread his legs and give the Americans all the oil coming from within, between his legs, he would be invited to the White House in the next month. Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world, surpassed Saudi Arabia. So if tomorrow this guy says, okay, I bend over, you do whatever you want with Venezuela, I guarantee you, Mr. Maduro will be rehabilitated. I guarantee you that. The same with the woodchuck. If tomorrow the woodchuck decides to allow the American military and CIA to bring offices in his country and control, like they did to Russia during Yeltsin's time, and control. Woodchuck would be dining at the White House, not with Trump, with any president who's in the White House. Now, how do you call this? Now, if you tell me that, hey, business is business, then stop calling people names and telling them you're a bad dude, I'm going to impose sanctions on you because you don't follow my orders. That's the whole point. Now, Mr. Bin Salman and Saudi Arabia applied for BRICS. But they said, hold on, just a second. Let's see what Trump offers us. Saudi Arabia seems to be independent until the Americans want a new leader, and then they're gonna decide on a new leader. Or the Saudis don't do what these guys are telling them. I mean, after all, Saudi Arabia buys weapons from the United States of America, so what are you talking about? So here it is, my friends. Donald Trump, how should I put it? I will tell you, and I will give an example. In Romania, the new rich, after the 1989 revolution and the fall of the socialist system by the Communist Party, some people became very wealthy. People who before that were just money changers in the street, Marcari, we call them Marcari, changing Deutschmark, German, they call them Marcari. Or restaurant barman, how do you call it, the baristas, how do you want to call them? People that were at the bottom of society, but they were in the underground economy. These guys came to be the creme de la creme in Romania. Some of them. And I disliked that a lot, because I said, is that what you need? So these guys became very wealthy all of a sudden, or people who just, took the Romanian industry in various ways, with corruption, obviously, and money and bribes. So these guys became multimillionaires, a lot of money. And these guys were, I don't know how you call them, unrefined people, And they would, I know for a fact, they would pay, for instance, for Tom Jones a certain amount of money to come to sing at their baboon daughter's wedding or something. These were baboons 3 months ago, or not 3 months ago, 2 years ago. They were just knuckle draggers. They became wealthy in 2 years, 3 years, in dollars. And okay, Tom Jones, you're going to come. Here we pay Tom Jones. Tom Jones comes over. Not even know for whom he's singing. You can say, well, he sings from whomever. His music is for... I understand that perspective. My point is this. These guys with money, they can orchestrate whatever they want. Remember now the boxing. Usyk, Berberev and what's his name? Bivol, Fury. Where were those fights organized? I'm not talking about, Usyk and Anthony Joshua in London. Who sponsors those? The Arabs. How come? So they go over there, even that Dana White is all there. They have the money. But hey, Dana White doesn't say, oh, the human rights here are not respected. Dana White from UFC, the president, whom I like. Oh, they are this, they don't respect this, they violate this. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't call them name. I'm doing business with these guys about business. But these guys always point their fingers and are morally superior. But then when it's about money, they bend over and take it deep. This is the level of hypocrisy at the toppest level. I mean, do you have values? Stick to them. Do you have principles? Stick to them. This is when you stick to your principles. Freedom, democracy, women's right, other things like that. You know what I mean? Democracy, we want that. Well, how do you do business with these guys? They're our allies. Why? They follow our orders. So if I have principles, I say. But when it's about my father... breaking my principles, I just close. It's okay, it's my father. But if it's your father and he breaks the same principles like my father did, holy fuck, no, you should be punished. Okay, that's, you know what I mean. So, I don't care. Invest how much you want. But by investing, you also can withdraw the investment. So is that kind of a blackmail? Like a bank. You have the bank, then you become dependent on the bank. And Trump, he told the Europeans that the Russians could blackmail them with oil and gas. oil and gas. That's why they should, But he goes to Saudi Arabia because those guys invest $600 billion. Why don't you have $600 billion, homie? I'm talking about America, and why don't we have it for our investments? Because our investments invested somewhere else and they kept the capital over there. Who allowed that? Talk about NAFTA, talk about Bill fucking Clinton and those baboons. Since then, it went that way. So I shouldn't have allowed that. Shouldn't have. Like the South Koreans did in the 1970s. I think they make a death penalty for people who would take, who dare to take a proportion of the capital made in South Korea outside for investment. So if you take, I don't know, more than 15% outside, death penalty. I think that's what it was in the 1970s. I'm not sure, but go and check it out. And that's when the South Korea had its boom. They made it over there, they reinvested in the country that made it, and then they invest a little bit outside. Not in America, they take out everything else, and the Americans are asking for handouts. You call them now assistants. Fuck me, Freddy. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.